Please welcome the Larue County team. Their team name is Run of the River. They had a very impressive project here, a hydroelectric project on the Nolin River to power the recycling center in Hodgenville.
Hi, we're Team Run of the River from Larue County, and we're going to be talking to you about hydropower. The picture that you see on the screen is from the recycling center in Hodgenville, and that was our work site. For thousands of years, hydropower has been used to generate electricity from falling water. Our nation's first large-scale hydropower project took place in 1880, with the first hydropower plant being developed 2 years later. It is considered the most important and widely used form of energy. Hydropower represents 20% of total electricity production in the U.S., making them 10th in the world in that category. Currently, only 2 states use hydropower as their primary source of energy, and those are Washington and Oregon. Hydropower plants output totaled 675,000 megawatts in 2007, the energy equivalent of 3.6 billion barrels of oil. Some people regard hydropower as the ideal source of power. It is considered to be a clean, renewable source of energy, emitting very low levels of greenhouse gases. It has a low operating cost once installed. The power is also generally on demand since the flow of water can be controlled. There are 2 types of hydropower plants. The first is conventional and the second is pumped storage, conventional. Most hydropower plants are conventional in design, meaning they use one-way water flow to generate electricity. 2 types of conventional plants are run-of-the-river and storage plants. Run-of-river plants use little, if any, stored water to provide water flow through the turbines. Weather changes cause run-of-river plants to experience significant fluctuations in power output. Storage plants. They have enough storage capacity to offset seasonal fluctuations in water flow and provide a constant supply of electricity throughout the year. The second type of plant, pumped storage, reuses water. After water produces electricity, it flows from the turbines into a lower reservoir located below the dam. During off-peak hours, which are periods of low energy demand, some of the water is pumped into an upper reservoir and reused during the period of peak demand. This form of energy stems from using water's energy as it flows from higher to lower elevation, which rotates turbines to create electricity. The picture on the screen shows how a hydropower plant is run. A hydropower plant generally includes the following steps. First, the dam holds water back and stores water upstream into a reservoir or a large artificial lake. Gates open on the dam, allowing gravity to pull the water down through the penstock. An intake valve carries water from the reservoir to turbines inside the powerhouse. Pressure builds up as the water flows through the pipeline. The water then hits the large blades of the turbine, making them turn. The turbine blades turn in unison with a series of magnets inside the generator. The transformer inside the powerhouse converts it to a higher voltage current to allow electricity flow to customers. Out of every power plant exit 4 power lines consisting of 3 wires and a neutral ground wire. Used water is then carried through outflow pipelines, which re-enters the river downstream.
The formula used to determine the available power is power equals head times flow times gravity. Power is the number of watts available after multiplying the 3 factors. Head is the distance the water falls from the dam into the turbine, and flow is the number of liters that run over the dam per second. Gravity is a constant factor. Behind the recycling center in Hodgenville, there is a river that flows over a dam. Our plan is to convert the falling water into hydroelectric power that can fuel the recycling center and the nearby firehouse. The time has come for the city of Hodgenville to move forward and begin exploring different energy solutions. Through the process of meeting with city officials, we will be able to get the word out on the many advantages that our project has to offer. The dam we are using has a head of a little over 3 meters, the flow is 94.6, and when multiplied by gravity, they produce 1,700 watts. This is a picture of our generator. It produces 3 kilowatts per hour. It would cost $1,600 and we will need 2 of these to produce the necessary amount of energy. Right now, there are no projects like ours underway in Kentucky. By doing this project, we hope to get statewide attention and make hydropower a more frequently used source of energy, and also move away from coal, which is our primary source. Our role in this project is to design the layout of the system and ensure that the plan will be carried out by city officials. Once the proposed plan is out of the developmental stage, the responsibilities will be in the hands of the city. They will need to hire electricians, engineers, and any other necessary personnel for the job. Our customers will be the city of Hodgenville and all of its citizens. Our main function will be to get the idea circulating by attending city functions and advertising, if necessary. We have already contacted the local newspaper and could contact the radio station as well. The point of doing this is to get the community behind us and gain their support.
The method of producing electricity that we are proposing has many benefits as a product. There is very little pollution due to the absence of fossil fuels. Greenhouse gas emissions are dramatically reduced, whereas using the standard method of electricity damages the environment severely. The water that is needed to run the system is provided free by nature in the form of rainfall, which is always renewable. The maintenance and operation costs would be minimal, therefore saving the city valuable dollars. Hydroelectric power also has its disadvantages. Dams can block fish passage to the ocean, although many plants now have measures in place to help reduce this impact. The diversion of water can impact stream flow or even cause a river channel to dry out, degrading habitats in the area. Hydroelectric plants can also have an impact on the quality of water by lowering the amount of dissolved oxygen in the water. However, in our project, most of these problems do not apply. The impact on wildlife will not be a factor considering there is no wildlife there to begin with. We don't feel like the investment is out of reach, and the water quality will remain stable even with the introduction of new equipment. To fund this project, we will be asking the city for help. If money has not been set aside for a community project such as this, we will look for other sources of funding. Our first choice would be through private and public donations from within the area. Another option would be by applying for a grant from the government. A qualified city official would help write the grant and would handle the day-to-day process of creating a successful campaign for a grant. Currently, the recycling center spends about $720 a year in electrical bills. The firehouse that is across the street spends about $540 each year. This brings the total to $1,260 per year. We've calculated the startup expenses to be approximately $6,000, and we hope to raise at least $3,000 with outside funding. If our idea was put into effect, the city of Hodgenville would no longer have to pay for electricity for these facilities, considering the water power will be free. After 4.76 years, the cost of building the system will be paid off, and all money saved thereafter can be considered profit. With the help of outside funding, the payback period will shorten. By reaching our target goal of $3,000, the period will decrease to half of the original time. Once again, we'd like to remind you of the benefits of this program. First of all, it would save the city some much needed money and would allow other programs to receive money that they have not been over the past years. The environmental benefits would be obvious when using this clean source of energy as opposed to the old method. And finally, and maybe most importantly, the community awareness of going green would improve significantly. We believe that the people would be proud of having such a program in the community. The ideas behind our project would hopefully spread and encourage people to make other aspects of their lives more green. And those are all the people that we want to thank, and we want to thank everyone in the audience and the judges.
Guess we know what Hodgenville's getting ready to do, right? Would Roy Walker please stand up? He's the coach of the Larue County teams. Roy did a great job. They showed a clip there of their recycling center at Hodgenville, and I will say that is very impressive what Larue County has. Meade County also, I toured the recycling center there. They have a really nice setup, as does Grayson County, maybe some others, but I did get to go through those three counties. And Meade County is so neat. I like it. It's like a drive-up, a drive-through. You pull up at one window, you put your cans, you move up, you put your plastic. Really neat thing that a lot of the counties have going on.